but I will show you how to do it. So I like to keep this at the top to be helpful, so I put divide, multiply, and subtract, because these are the steps I'm going to need. So for this one, I'm seeing how many times can 4 go into 6? And I know that 4 can go into 6 one time, so I'm going to put a 1 here, and I'm going to put zeros behind it to fill that place value. Now, I just did the divide step. Now I need to do the multiply step. So the top times the side equals the bottom. 1,000 times 4 equals 4,000. I subtract now. That's my next step. 7, 8, 7, comma, and our 2. So we have 2,787. Now I'm thinking, how many times does 4 go into this number? How many times can 4 go into this number? So can 4 go into 2? No, 4 can't go into 2. But I know 4 can for sure go into 27. And I know it can go in 6 times. So 600. So I just did the division part. Now I need to do the top times the side equals the bottom. So 6 times 4 equals 24. And I put my 2 zeros with it. And I subtract through. So when I subtract through, I get 7, 8, 3. So 387. Now, I am going to repeat my step again. So I'm going to look at number 4 right here. Can 4 go into 3? Nope, can't go into 3. Can 4 go into 38? Yep, absolutely. 4 can go into 38. So what we're going to do is, okay, I can count by 4s, count up by 4s on your fingers. If you need help, use your times table. But I know from me memorizing my facts, I know that 4 times 9 is going to get me what I need. So 4 times 9, so 4 times 9 is going to get me 36. It's going to get me closest to 38. That's my goal. Is I want to figure out what number is going to get me closest. So 387 minus 360 is going to get me 7 and 2, so 27. We have one more step, because if we look here, 27 is still bigger than our 4. We want to make sure the bottom number right here is going to be smaller than this number over here. So we got to keep going. So how many times can 4 go into 2? Nope, 4 can't go into 2. 2 is too small. So, but I know that 4 can go into 27. So I'm going to count by 4s. Okay, oh, I remember this one because we did it earlier up here. So I know I can do times 6. So 6 times 4 is going to get me 24. Now I'm going to subtract through. 27 minus 24 is 3. Now I can compare. I can look. My 4 is bigger than the 3. So 4 can't go into 3. That's where we stop. Now, this number is going to be super duper important at the bottom right here. I'm putting a bunch of arrows around it. It's super duper important. This is what we call our remainder. So at the top, we're going to have to add that in just a moment. So now, we're going to add these two together. But guess what? They're all in the place value already. So 1,696. Now, we need to have a remainder of 3, because our remainder is down here. We need to bring all the way back up here, so our remainder is 3, and then we circle our answer. Okay, all right, so for our next one at the bottom, when we're doing this one, for number 3, we're going to do 9. Can 9 go into 1? Nope, 9 can't go into 1, so this is the only time I put that little X over the top. Can 9 go into 15? Absolutely, I know 9 can go into 15 one time, so that'll be 10. So I'm going to go, so that was our division step. Now we're going back to multiplication. 10 times 9 equals 90, and I'm going to subtract now. 3 minus 0 is 3. 15 minus 9, if you don't know that one, that's where you can count up, start 10, and then count up from there. So I know that would be 6. So my next number is 63. Now, I see that 63 is bigger than 9, so I got to keep going. So how many times can 9 go into 6? Nope, 9 can't go into 6. 6 is too small. But 9 can go into 63. And I know from my multiplication facts that 9 times 7 is going to get me what I need. Because 9 times 7 is 63. I'm going to subtract it through, and it's going to get me a 0. Okay, so this one we have no remainder, and that's okay. Sometimes you won't have a remainder, sometimes you will. Now let's go back up to the top. We're going to add it up, up, up. So 10 plus 7 is 17, and that one is just our answer, and we circle. Okay, let's go to number 4. This one, we have 450 divided by 8. Now, 8 can't go into 4. This can't go in there. 4 is way too small, but I know I put the x over, and now I look. Can 8 go into 45? Yeah, it can. It can go, I know that 5 times 8 is going to get me 40. So 40 will go down here, and I bring my 0 down. So from the top, because I did 50 times 8, which got me 400, now I'm subtracting, and I'm left with 50. My next step here. Okay, I'm thinking, what? 8 times what is going to get me closest to 50? I can count by 8s on my fingers. So if I count up, I know that 8 times 5 gets me 40. Oh, that's too short. 8 times 6, though, is going to get me just enough. So 8 times 6 is 48. And I subtract it through, and I'm left over with 2. That's my remainder. This one right here, that's going to be my remainder. So I'm going to add it up, up, up. So 56 remainder 2. All right, we are going to do one more on the back side. This is what all students were taught today, so hopefully this helps. We'll do one more at the we'll do number 7. Number 7's a little bit lengthier, so that's the one we had to go slower on and really make sure we're trying to keep our work as neat as possible. So for this first one, can 7 go into 9? Absolutely. 7 can go into 9. Yes. So we're going to do 1,000. So 1,000, it can go into it one time. So 1,000 times 7 is 7,000. And then I'm going to subtract because that's my next step. So I'm left with 8, 2, 4, 2. Then my next one, I know that 7 times something is going to get me close to 24 because 7 can't go into 2. It can go into 24. And I know that it's 3. And I have to fill in the zeros behind, so it would be 300. So it would be 21, subtract 8, 2, 3. Now, 328. 7 can't go into the 3, so it can go into 32. So I know it can go into it up to 40. So 4 times 7 equals 28, and I have that 0. Now I subtract 8. Okay, now this one, I can't do 2 minus 8. I need to borrow from my neighbor. I know that 12 minus 8 equals 4. My last step is right here. How many times can 7 go into 48? Because 7 can't go into 4. 7 can go into 48, though. 7 can go into 48 6 times. You see I'm lining up my numbers at the top so they're nice in their place value. 6 times 7 is 42, and I subtract it through, which equals 6. This is my remainder. Now, my last step is I need to add it up, add it up, 1,346 with a remainder of 6. I hope this video helps you guys. Reminder, this is the going up method for 5-6.